Hi everyone, welcome to Crafting with Julia. I'm Julia and I'm so glad you tuned in today. It would not be Christmas without an elf on the shelf. I always wanted one, so I decided to make one. So if you'd like to join me, stay tuned. If you enjoy my video, please hit the like button and leave me a comment. I love to get feedback from my viewers. Also, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you can be notified of all my newly released videos. Also, feel free to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I invite you to join my Facebook group called Crafting with Julia's Creative Community, where you can be part of my crafting family. All of those links are in the description below this video. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the link on the pattern and you're going to print out the pattern and cut it out on hard cardstock. Then you are going to pick your fabric and you're going to lay your patterns out on the fabric. So let me just go over the patterns. This is the body, and my body is going to be red. So this is the body for the red. Now when you sew it, you're going to sew this part closed and you're going to leave the two legs open. Those are the legs. So that's the only part that's open. These are the shoes. I am going to do green shoes. So you're going to trace it out and sew it and leave the top open. The sleeves. These are my sleeves, right and left sleeve. You're going to cut 4. The instructions are on the pattern, and you're just going to sew it around and leave the sleeve open. These are the ears. I cut 2. Actually, I cut 4, sorry, sewed them, and you're going to sew all around and leave this part open. The hands, right and left, sew it around, leave that part open. This is the apron. You're just going to cut 1 in felt. And these are the cuffs. You're going to cut 4. You need 4 cuffs, 2 for the legs and 2 for the arms. So let me just show you how I did that. So I sewed all the way around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little slit in the back. Just grab the top fabric, make a little slit, and then using my fabric turning tool, this is a great tool to have. It's from Dritz. It comes in 3 sizes. I don't know what I would do without it. This is probably my most used tool. So you're just going to turn it right side out, stick it in the hole there, push it down, and it's right side out. And then you take the little pointy part and you go around the seam and you straighten your seam out. Now we are not going to worry about closing this up because the open part is going to face the, like take for instance, this is the sleeve. The open part is going to face down, so we're not even going to bother sewing that back up. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like. Okay, now let me explain the head. Now this is just for those of you who need instruction on how to do the head, because we're going to sew the hair into the head. So here's the pattern. This is the face, this is the back of the head, and this is the bangs. So you're going to cut 1 of each, but you're going to make like a sandwich. So in sewing, all the right sides are together when you sew. So this is the right side of my face. This is the right side of the bangs. Now when you do this, the wrong side has to face the right side, because when you turn it out, you want that seam. So what you're going to do is you're just going to get a piece of felt, and I already did it. You're going to lay your pattern down and you're going to trace the bangs. Then you're going to put your hair, the hair color, on top of that. So this is the right side, the right side, the right side. And then I'm going to take the back of the head, and now I am going to trace my circle. Now I want to make sure that I'm within the bangs. So I'm just going to take a pin and mark that just to make sure I'm hitting the bangs. Okay, and I am. Okay, so that piece has to be where the bangs end. Same thing on this side. Has to be where the bangs end. Okay, so now I am going to trace this all the way around. Okay, and now I am going to sew that circle. I'm just going to pin this all together. I am going to sew it. I'm going to start here, sew it, and leave this opening so that I can turn it right side out and we can stuff it. Okay, we're ready to assemble our little guy. One thing that I forgot to mention, which is extremely important, is that before you sew your head, you want to cut that piece. So you want to cut that piece and then make your sandwich and then sew. Very important. Forgot to mention that. I'm very sorry. Okay, we are now going to assemble our little guy. So let's first put the shoes on. So I sewed and stuffed everything. Everything is stuffed with polyfill. And now we are going to glue all the pieces together. So taking a little hot glue. We are going to stick this inside here. Okay, then we're going to put the cuff on. So I'm just going to finagle it in there, and we are going to attach it in the back. And now I'm going to put these two little bells, I'm going to glue them to the tip of those little curls on his feet. Okay, now the head, we're not going to sew this up because that we're going to stick the body inside the head and we're going to glue it in there like that. So I'm going to put a little glue around the edge. And inside, and we are going to glue that right to the body. Okay, so while that's drying, we're going to assemble the hands. So I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to attach the hands to the sleeves. Okay, then we're going to put the cuffs on. Now we have to remember there's a right hand and a left hand, and the thumbs face forward, so you want to be careful how you put your cuffs on because the seam has to be in the back. Okay, well that's drying. We're going to assemble the apron. So this is the apron, and I cut 2 strips out that I'm going to use as the piece that goes over the shoulder. So let's glue the apron on. Okay, and then we're going to put these pieces over the shoulder, and I want enough room because I have these little buttons that I'm going to put on like that. So I want that to be right there. And we're going to put this one the same length. Should be right there. Okay, and then we're going to tie that around the head. Then I'm going to glue the buttons on. Okay, now I'm going to glue the arms on. Okay, now the ears. We are not stuffing the ears. They were just sewn and turned right side out, and we're just going to glue them on like that. Okay. So now we are going to put the eyes and the nose on. So I am using these adhesive eyes that were in my stash, and I do not remember where I got them from, but you can use little black glass beads that you can sew on, or you can draw the eyes on with marker, but I'm going to use these. Okay, and then I got these eyelashes from Dollar Tree. They're actually a piece that I had left over, and I am going to attach those to the eyes. Now for the hat, I got these novelty socks from Amazon, and we're going to use a part of it for the hat. Okay, I'm just going to sew this closed. So before I sew it up, I want to put a little bit of polyfill in there to give it a little form. And then I'm going to take this little pom-pom and glue it onto the top. Okay, now we're going to make a little collar. So I made this, I just took a strip and cut little triangles, and now I'm going to make a little collar. So I'm going to just run a stitch around the top. And put that around his neck. Okay, and then for his nose, I have this little pink bead that I had in my stash. I'm just going to glue it to his nose, to his face, like that. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. And put it on his nose. I'm going to draw his mouth. Okay, now we're ready to add some embellishments. So I'm going to take these little green pom-poms and glue them to the points of my collar. Okay, now we're going to make a little holly. to put on his hat. So I am first going to just freehand it and cut out a holly leaf. Okay, now I am going to take a flat iron. This is a regular hair flat iron, and we're going to draw the vein down the center. We're going to make the vein down the center by just putting it through the flat iron. Okay, and there's our vein down the center. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull it so that we make a little twisty shape. Okay, so we have the vein down the center and we have a little twisty shape. So I'm going to fold it in half. And then pull it. Okay, and then we're going to just glue that onto the hat. Okay, all done. Ready? Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again real soon. Happy crafting!